Hello, and welcome to the Jank Tank, a weekly series where I build questionable decks and throw them against the constructed ladder. This week, I do not have that Offspring's Revenge deck that I was talking about last week. It was a kind of a Mardu-colored sacrifice deck. It still needs some tweaking. I think I've got it almost there, but it still has some problems against a lot of matchups, and I haven't gotten it to a consistent win yet. So I'm going to spend a little more time working on that. In the meantime, I've got an Abzan deck that is built to have specific meta adjustments. I've included several cards in here that you might not normally see main decked. They'd be sideboard stuff, but since we're playing on the best of one ladder, I've got them in the main deck, and we'll see if that gambit pays off. So this is a kind of a general, just beefy value Abzan build. I've got some Mana Ramp here with Paradise Druids and Skull Prophets. I've also got Leyline Prowler for Death Touch as well as some Mana Ramp. He's a relatively new recent addition to the deck. I'm going to see if that helps propel me towards the later game. Hold off stuff like Johnny's Pride Mates. You guys have seen my other decks. I usually have Mire Tritons in here, and I've been missing the Death Touch blockers. So this is my substitute for now. We have Knight of Autumn. It's a really decent green-white card. Can just be a 3-mana destroy target enchantment, get a 2/1. Or you can gain some life or get a big creature. It's pretty flexible. It is in here because I have Vivian at the top, and Vivian's -2 is when you cast a creature spell, search your deck for a creature with less mana cost and put it into play. So when we're playing a 4 cost, we can get a Knight of Autumn for some utility if that's what we need. We've got basically from our 4 costs 2 options. Leyline Prowler is a death touchy blocker, or Knight of Autumn to remove enchantments or gain life. Depends on what we need, but it's a little bit of a toolbox there. We also have Agonizing Remorse, just to help disrupt stuff and take care of any problematic cards that we can't address with what's in our hand. Really good at exiling problematic things that people want to recur, like Agents of Treachery and Elspeth Conquers Death, things like that. We have Mythos of Nethroi. This is the Abzan Mythos, just completely flexible removal, destroys literally any permanent that's not a land, so it hits pretty much everything except Nissa's 3/3 land creatures. It's not our first choice of removal since we want to use Barrier Breach to exile enchantments, but if it's what's in our hand, then we can use it to do what we need to. So Barrier Breach is one of the meta calls. I've seen a lot of important enchantments running around, especially with the Yorion decks that play quite a few omens and then bounce them for repeated value, or decks that run a lot of Banishing Light. Those decks usually run like Prison Realm and Banishing Light, stuff like that, Glass Casket. Getting to hit multiples with Barrier Breach is really nice, and if it's not relevant in your matchup, you can cycle it for 2. It really hurts drawing this card against aggressive decks, because you don't really have the 2 mana to spend just getting a different card, and they usually don't have enchantments that you need to remove. But sometimes you see it. Decks that use aggression pushing with cheap creatures followed by Banishing Lights, that stuff, it'll help. We also have Kaya. This is a big one against early aggression decks. Kaya can -1 to exile a permanent that is 1 mana or less. So this kills any token. So it can kill sharks really easily from Shark Typhoon. It can get rid of Cat Oven. Even if they have the oven out to sacrifice the cat, you can get rid of the oven itself. And then later, if the cat ends up in the bin, you can use her +2 to exile creatures from the discard pile. There's a lot of decks that are fueled off of graveyard interactions, and Kaya can really throw a wrench in it. And even if they're not doing stuff interacting with the graveyard, she can usually gain you quite a bit of life. +2 when you play her to exile a creature from a graveyard, and then she'll usually absorb some more damage from them attacking her before dying. So I've been pretty happy with her. She's not always relevant. Sometimes she's a dead card and you can't cycle her like you can with Barrier Breach, but when she's good, she seems to be really good. I've seen a lot of decks just kind of flounder when you play Kaya. They're like, oh, well, concede. That's happened before. They're like, oh, Kaya, guess I'm dead. Alright, up here at the 4 drops we've got some Dirge Bats. This card I'm on the fence about. Sometimes it's really good, and sometimes it's just too slow. But I'm keeping it in because it has Flash. So this mutates for 6, and when you mutate, you destroy a creature that they control. It also has Flash, so it can be a surprise blocker to get an extra kill in that way. And it can also mutate onto a creature to go into the air and attack. So if you got a Knight of Autumn that you put counters on, you can mutate onto the Knight, and then go to combat and swing with a 5/5 because it's got 2+1 counters on it in the air. So it's got a lot of good tempo applications. Being able to push the attack while killing their creature is nice. But the Flash is also relevant against Simic Flash decks. If you're trying to resolve a spell, it helps to be able to cast something on their turn and then go to your turn and cast another spell. They can only counter so much, so I've used this to help resolve Vivians before. It's nice. It's a little expensive, but sometimes it's what you need. I've got Questing Beast in here. This deck does run a lot of creatures and tends to stall out with mana dorks, so it hurts when they cast Shatter the Sky. Questing Beast helps mitigate that. Being able to punch back for 4 hasty is very nice, plus it has all of the keywords and abilities. This creature's got about 4 too many abilities on it, and they're all pretty good, so it's a very, very solid creature. Can't be blocked by creatures by power 2 or less, so if they play a Planeswalker, make a token blocker, you can usually go over the token and kill the Planeswalker. It is another Death Toucher. I always like having a Death Touch blocker, so it's just a good card. Your opponent kind of just dies if you play it with good timing. And I got Shifting Ceratops. This deck has trouble if the opponent can outvalue us. We've got a lot of solid 1-for-1s in Mythos and Agonizing Remorse, but if they start drawing too many cards, then we can't do a whole lot. But those decks tend to be very blue-centric, and Shifting Ceratops is just immune to blue. Can't be countered, can't be blocked, they can't bounce it, so it's almost inevitable once you land it against a blue-focused deck. Sometimes they'll Shatter the Sky, sometimes they'll Storm's Wrath. Those are good options, but they don't always have them. And if you're forcing a Shatter the Sky based off of 1 Ceratops, at least you got to hit for 5 haste first. It ends games. It's our biggest creature in here, so it's solid. And then at the very top, we got Vivian for 5. Vivian just dumps out 3/3s turn after turn after turn. Sometimes you also get extra value being able to play creatures off the top of your deck. That's not the main draw for me in this deck. We have a good chunk of non-creature spells between Mythos, Barrier Breach, Kaya, and Agonizing Remorse. So it's rare that I actually get a creature I want off of Vivian. But sometimes she does just help you go sideways and put a lot of stuff into the field. But being able to +1 every turn to just create tokens is very, very nice. And since you can see the top of your deck, you can tell if it's a good time to -2. If you see a land and you've already got 6 lands in play, you can just -2 and shuffle your deck when you cast a creature. So it's good utility. A lot of my games revolve around keeping them busy with my 4-drops and 3-drops, and then sticking a Vivian, and then just trying to close out the game with a Batra. So obviously there's a lot of kind of specific cards in here. Barrier Breach and Kaya can be very unhelpful. Ceratops is not incredible if your opponent's not playing blue. So this deck may just lose if you're in the wrong matchup, but it's got a lot of good options against pretty much every deck, so hopefully you won't find too many matches where everything's just dead. So we'll give it a whirl. I built this after a day of playing the Offspring deck, Offspring's Revenge, against a bunch of decks, and ran into basically Yorion after Yorion after Yorion, plus some Lurrus and mono red aggro. And I was like, well, we can counter these. These are pretty linear strategies. But when I've been playing today, it's been basically Amori all day, so fingers crossed we don't run into too many Amori decks. This deck does not have a good time with it. We'll take this. I do need another land to hit Shifting Ceratops. We don't have any of our mana dorks. Blue black, okay. Let's see if we get odd erasured. I don't know what they'd take. It'd probably be taking the Shifting Ceratops. Sultai colored. Okay. Not much point to ticking up Kaya just yet, but I also kind of want to see if there's going to be any enchantments that we want to kill. But I think just resolving a big creature right now is our best bet. They don't have counterspell mana up, so they'll have to Brazen Borrower this if they want. Or just like Heartless Act won't get it. Nice. I can shrink it but not kill it. But yeah, there's kill spells that'll deal with this, but they'll have to use it. Yep. Oh, get a land. Yeah, I'll take action. Let's see, we got a white. Let's get more green. This may be preemptive, but I kind of want it to just Ceratops to the face. If they have another Assassin's Trophy, it will be sad, but... if the rest of their stuff is blue, we may be doing well. Agonizing Remorse would have been nice. Could have gone Remorse, Kaya, checked things out. So on 4, they could get a Forest and go Night Pack Ambusher. And if they do that, then we can Mythos and we'll be doing really well. Or they're just gonna kill our stuff. I was hoping that the removal was blue, but they're playing Golgari, so no dice. Well, let's start ticking up Kaya. I don't really expect her to get anywhere, but she'll be nice to have in play if I end up needing it.
I can get rid of anything, living or dead.
Let's get rid of their land.
Well done. Hope to see me no more.
Well, we don't have a whole lot in our hand left to play, so hopefully they don't have a whole lot of threats. Doesn't seem likely though, they've got a handful of cards. Seems good. Well, so I can kill it, but it'll just come back in a few turns. Let's go ahead and crack this to get one more land out of my deck. Take a swamp. Agonizing Remorse. Okay, well, that's pretty good. Let's see what he's got. Oh, a lot of good stuff. I think we just lose. So the Mass Manipulation basically just kills us. Liliana basically just kills us, but we could Mythos it. Not too worried about Kogla, but I don't think that we can deal with a Mass Manipulation. He can already just take a card. Yeah, we might as well just concede. There's no way this is gonna go well.
Was I greedy? I had guild business to attend to anyway.
I can just cast Liliana now. Okay. Guess you'd rather just get the attacks in. I think I'm just gonna kill the Cavalier. Oh, it shuffles. It doesn't go in 3 from the top. Okay. But he gets to scry 2 anyway, so he basically sets up whatever he wants to draw. Oh, Questing Beast is good. I think he's really mad about my Kaya, actually. because his Uro is stuck in his hand. I think that's why he played the Kagwa, is to ensure more creature attacking. I mean, just... I think he should have just taken the trade. I'm gonna gain a bit of life here.
You won. This time.
I don't really have any creature recursion in here, so it doesn't matter if my graveyard's empty. I think he just play Liliana and... Oh, okay. Yeah, let's just concede. You just draw Casualties of War off of your Scry 2. Yeah, so this is the kind of deck I was talking about that has a very high top end that can go above what this deck does. And since Ceratops died to non-blue removal, it didn't really work. Kaya seemed to work well though. I'm not upset having cast her and shut off the Uro. It's an okay hand. We'll need to draw some good stuff, but we can get there. The Questing Beast, they are legendary, so it's easy to forget that one. I'm going to leave that on top. I think usually black-white decks tends to use a Johnny's Pride Mason Aerialists. Oh, this could be a cycling deck too. I'll be very happy to take a Zenith Flare out of his hand. In which case, we can afford to go Paradise Druid first. And I say that because if this is a Zenith Flare deck, it's gonna sit with the Zenith Flares in his hand after cycling for a long time. And I'll be able to pull it out later. We're just going to play... We'll attack with Questing Beast. This makes our Paradise Druid vulnerable, but next turn we'll have 4 mana anyways, so it's fine. Ideally they kill the Questing Beast, and we'll just like, here, have another one. Ideal. So Mortify, destroys Questing Beast. We'll just replay it. Our other alternative, since this wasn't a cycling card, is we can Agonizing Remorse him before exposing our Questing Beast to danger. So let's do that. Alright, so this is a lot of stuff. Let's see, Kalia... Get stuff. Opportunistic Dragon takes humans. Don't really care about that. The Shepherd and Nethroi are both dangerous. I think I'll get rid of the Shepherd. And I guess I'll choose not to play this other Paradise Druid. Because he's got the Clarion to deal damage. Oh, you get multiples. Nice. We're pretty good on colors right now. Okay, so he doesn't have direct removal. He can sweep the board, but it'll kill his own Kalia as well. So I'm going to go ahead and throw out Vivian. And get a reach.
I call, and Ikoria answers.
So he can play Clarion now if he wants, but it'd be better, I think he's just gonna like go for the Gargan Hellkite. Give it Riot. And maybe he has a combat trick. Okay. So I could -2 right now, but it would just open me up to Deafening Clarion because all of my stuff is 3 toughness or less. Except the Questing Beast and the Ceratops. I think I'm I don't really want to draw this land, but I think I'm going to. We'll give it reach again. We'll play...
I love making new friends.
That's a weird way to tap game. Trying to get me killed. Oh, it's not a Ceratops. I was thinking it was a shifting Ceratops. Looking for more land. Looks like all this stuff is at 5 or double red. Seems really good. Let's see, so we can play Paradise Druid, get some value. I wouldn't mind that Agonizing Remorse. Would I cast it right now? Get reach.
I'd like you to meet my friend, Stompy.
Yeah. So the reason I have to cycle this now is because he's got this Deafening Clarion that I kind of need to play around at the moment. Rita, Seraph, these are all really good. Weird decks today. So if I don't take the Clarion, I lose my board, and he gets to kill Vivian. So we're not going to let that happen. Oh, he just draws removal. That's cool. Definitely would have chosen something else if that were the case. Alright, so we've got 10 damage on the board. His stuff doesn't have lifelink, although that Nethroid does. He needs a green to cast it. And he might not even have green. That might just be for the mutate. Yeah, I think that's just in for the mutate. So, I think we could just kill him. Alright, we need him not to draw a Deafening Clarion. Drew a land that won't save him. He can cast no spells. Okay. Very close, but his hand's full of value, but a little too slow. Vivian just dumps out so much stuff over time. Got a Golos. Alright, let's go again. Barrier Breach would have been useless that game, but I would have appreciated a Kaya. I think Kaya would have done some decent work, keeping those embodiments smaller. Well, Agonizing Remorse is a good card. Let's see if we just die. Hello. Oh. Skull Prophet and risk getting burned, or Agonizing and try and wreck his hand. I'm going to go for the wreck his hand approach. It's a little slower, but less prone to removal. Oh, well, that's a lot of stuff. Take the Spitfire, because that's the most dangerous. Yeah. Didn't need that. I'll take a Barrier Breach, though, if it comes up. Shifting Ceratops. Alright, so we've got... I need double black for Batra. So if I shock, he gets basically all of the value. He gets to ping, and... Or if I play Skull Prophet, he gets to kill the Skull Prophet and untap Mr. Spit. And then attack. Or I can Agonizing Remorse and take the mask from him. non-creature spell, so it's going to happen either way. I don't know if it really matters. Might as well play Agonizing before he gets a chance to just play out his hand. Scorch Spitter is a good card. Would have taken that if I had seen it. Alright, well, hopefully we draw a land and can eat the Scorch Spitter off of Dark Destroyer. Or a Kaya. Or an Agonizing Remorse. Well, at least this can block now. Unless he drew a shock. No burn? No, looks like he drew a non-creature. Omen. Great. So we take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If we draw Kaya, we're not dead. That's not a Kaya. Frustratingly, this deck has answers to this nonsense, but our lands are too slow. Might be worth going back and looking at cutting down the tapped lands, cutting the Fabled Passages just for basics. I bet that deck was only running like 21 or 22 lands too, or I bet 24 he drew more land, or he drew more lands than us. Got Barrier Breach and Kaya. I sure hope this is an opponent that uses one of them. But we've got our colors of lands, so we'll take it. Red deck. Kaya might be good. Shock. No, no shock. Oriad. Okay. Well, I can Barrier Breach it. See where this goes. If he's discarding stuff, it might be a Phoenix type deck. Well, he is going to be a sad panda. This isn't exactly the deck that I teched against when I was building this Barrier Breach deck, but we're going to get a good 2-for-1 here. Let's see, Scorch Spitter is fine. Go with the... Just trying to decide if I tap my... Enter's tapped. I'll tap the Paradise Druid. It is an instant, so I'm just gonna wait, see if he plays another Cavalcade. I doubt it. I think he's just gonna play both of these. Yeah. Get out of here. Alright, so we've got 5 mana to work with. It's not enough to do anything, so we're just going to let Kaya. No!
The crueler the opponent, the
Can I cancel?
sweeter the victory.
Yes, okay. That would have been very embarrassing. Alright, Scorch Spitter out.
Huh.
He can kill Kaya now probably, but I think exiling Scorch Spitter is fine. Send everything at Kaya? Alright, Kaya's dead. You got it. Nope. Scorch. Alright. Don't really need my Paradise Druid anymore, I think, so I might as well get the trade in. And now Kaya lives.
I dare you.
That's interesting. gain 2 life.
Shuffling me off my mortal coil.
Going to Agonizing Remorse, and then probably Leyline Prowler. Yeah, alright, so let's get rid of the Cavalcade. Do the Prowler. Doesn't have the mana, the way to kill the Prowler without me blocking first, so that's fine. Probably just hold back the shock to get the value off of Spitfire. Seems fine to me. And shock Kaya. Okay. That's a good call. Alright, so we've got 7 mana to work with. I can play the Ceratops and then either give it Reach or Mythos. It's going to come down to who draws good stuff first. He hasn't gotten a Castle Embereth yet. Torbran. Alright. Does that embolden you to swing? Sure does. It's difficult to tap all those tokens. Okay. So that only increases damage by 2, right? I'd rather just kill the Spitfire right now instead of kill Torbran. I'll take a little bit more damage, but free Spitfire is free Spitfire. I don't think he realized that I could have had Reach. I am going to kill Torbran, but I'm hoping he tries to shock the Ceratops or something. Makes an attack that's bad without Torbran. Okay, he didn't. Just Mythos now? Yeah, I guess so. Alright, let's go ahead and cycle this. We'll cycle that at the end of turn. Gotta start killing him at some point. The Spitfire can attack now though, so that may have been a poor choice. Ginger Root. Okay. Set by creatures with haste. Noted. He did remember to activate. Let's go ahead and cycle this. Swamp. Alright. Ooh. Okay, so we'll play this. We will mutate onto the Leyline Prowler because I want to attack with that for lifelink. We'll go over, and the Spitfire is the more dangerous of these cards. It's got the more explosive potential here. I can give the Ceratops haste to block the Ginger Root. Okay, you can see it's Kaya helps in this matchup. I really like her as a card. It's definitely a good thing I went for that Agonizing Remorse, though. Getting that Cavalcade out of his hand was very important. I don't like this, but we have our colors and some ramp. Hopefully we draw into stuff. The problem with the deck that's got 6 mana dorks in it, 8 if you count the basilisks, is a lot of your draws when you top deck them are just small dudes. Not a lot we can do about that. Play fewer of them, I guess, but you need something on the low end. Paradise Druid. There's no use from him, but it could be an elemental like Leafkin sort of thing. Yeah, Leafkin Druid. I am very tempted right now to just Mythos of Nethrite and get in for 2. Instead, I will continue ramping. And see what he does. Okay. We will return the favor. We're a noisy owl. Let's see. Just gonna wait. Dirgebat has flash, so we can see what he tries to do with this. Ugh. Okay. So that's gonna definitely be Mythos. Absolutely not. Well, yeah. Do this now. Makes the Yorba bigger. Makes the Nessian bigger. I think this is right, though. I don't want him to draw a card. Take a bit more damage. Taking a lot of damage here. Let's see. We'll get a swamp. We will continue doing nothing. But before we go to combat, we'll Batra. Hopefully this puts him 1 mana shy of what he needed. He was playing a 4th creature to get the Leafkin Druid up to 4 mana. Nope, no dice. He gains a bunch of life. And has a Horn Beetle that he's not willing to trade. Good. I guess we'll just... Kaya is not great in this matchup.
This will be child's play. I'll be back. You better
I don't
watch your
think Mono
back
Green's
from
got
here
any
on
good.
out.
They got a little bit of creature recursion. I don't think anyone plays it. I am willing to trade this Batra with Nessian Horn Beetle, by the way, if you were wondering. Oh, it seems good.
Elemental cat dinosaurs? I love them for you.
I would take another Batra right now. Or a Vivian of my own. I think his Vivian's probably got better toolboxing with its -2, though. Still willing to trade, though, if you were wondering.
You beat me this time. Bravo.
He's got three cards in exile. I think we're gonna lose here. His Vivian's just a lot better than my cards.
The arc bow is quite powerful.
Oh, yeah, we just lose.
Savagery
I'll
loves
concede.
company.
There's no way we're gonna recover from Kogla into whatever he wants. Probably another questing beast. Fight my Batra. I just don't have anything. Let's go again. Got our colors. Agonizing Remorse. Let's go for it. Spammo. Let's see what Spammo's running. Ooh, cycling deck. Kaya is pretty good against Flourishing Fox. Although if he had a Flourishing Fox, I think he would have played it turn 1. Alright, so if it's a cycling deck, I don't want to Agonizing Remorse yet. I want to wait for him to... Well, it could be... I don't know. If it was an Ominous, I think he would have played Ominous first. Let's go ahead and just ramp for now. I think Agonizing can come later. Definitely has the red. No. Actually, I'll trade. If I can resolve a spell, which is... Okay. Well, that's a thing. I think I'm just gonna plus Kaya.
Somebody
Get rid of these cycling cards.
I'll be back.
He can hit her for 2 more. Maybe has another startling development that he'll use to kill Kaya. Kind of fine with that. You got it.
You have to do better than that.
Ooh. Danger. Let us see. Yeah, I'm pretty sure Agonizing Remorse here. I've got to get the Cathartic Reunion out of his hand, or whatever he's gonna cycle. Nice. Already too late. Well, we can destroy the Ominous Seas, so I'm okay if he goes to play that. If he cycles it, that's too bad, but he's going to cycle either way, so we're going to get rid of Go for Blood.
You're not well you won. This time.
Right. Keeps Riel nice and small. Hopefully he just plays Ominous Seas and passes. Hope that's a land. Cycle Stinger. Okay. Deal with that as long as he doesn't have another cycling instant. If you can pump Riel... Ah, that's what I didn't want. Okay. Now Riel and Dranith Healer can kill Kaya. But she did a lot of what she was supposed to. Question is, do I Barrier Breach the Ominous Seas, or do I Knight of Autumn it? I don't think it's gonna resolve next turn. Let me go Ceratops. He might get a Kraken. Depends on how much he cycles. Alright, he's probably going to get a Kraken. One cycle at this point gets it. These decks that are entirely cycling cards are insane. almost went to attack with the Ceratops. That would be a mistake. There's an argument to be made for waiting until next turn to do it to see if he plays another Ominous Seas, but if he has Cathartic Reunion, he would actually pretty much get to... Cathartic Reunion or Channel Force would get him to another Kraken immediately. Okay. So I think my plan right now is to take 8 from the Kraken, Batra on top of the Knight of Autumn to kill the Kraken and swing for 5 in the air. And I guess on the ground. I didn't swing with the Kraken. He's scared. Good. Let's see if this sticks. I guess the Kraken wouldn't have been able to block the Ceratops. God, Riel is a crazy card. And I actually think I should just kill Riel now, since the Ceratops can block the Kraken all day. He's already drawn all of the cards. I guess a Zenith Flare probably just kills the Ceratops. Sure would like a Kaye again. Give me another one, deck. Another? Does he have another Godzilla? Wouldn't be surprised. Riel drew him about 20 cards. I think a Zenith Flare swing that would just basically be the game. Okay. It's gonna be a problem, but not impossible to deal with. I should have attacked with the Ceratops too. Ain't bad. That might end up costing a lot. Nice. Ceratops is our only hope now. And unfortunately, I'm pretty sure he has another Will of the All Hunter to trade with it. Although Will is... oh, man, Will is only 2. Crazy. I'll try it. He has it, he has it. We can't wait. Alright. He doesn't go for the Will of the All Hunter. If he had that in his hand, he could have killed the Ceratops. I'm a little concerned that he... oh, it turns it into a blue serpent. Hilarious. Unfortunately, we're just going to take some damage and eat a couple Zenith Flares. All of these cycle. He's got 3, 4 cards that aren't cyclers. Now Riel probably just kills us too. Maybe he'll deck himself. without drawing any of his Godzillas. If this isn't a Batra, I think I'm just going to concede. He can cycle in Godzilla at instant speed now, so Shifting Ceratops can't attack. He can cast spells. There's another Shifting Ceratops. Guess that's worth a shot. If he has Godzilla, we can concede. If he doesn't have Godzilla yet, then maybe we can get in for some damage. We lose. Didn't have kill fast enough to kill Riel. Maybe this deck wants Heartless Act. 2 mana kill spells, pretty strong. Maybe even on or instead of the Mythos. Mythos is flexible, but we have enchantment removal. Don't really have much to deal with artifacts though, besides the Knight of Autumns. This will probably be our last game. Unless it's really short. I'm gonna keep this hand, it seems okay. I need to draw another land for it to be okay, but we got Paradise Druid and Kaya, so if he's got an aggressive start, then we can probably knock down some of it with the Kaya. Maybe he'll just be AFK and won't play any cards. He is kept. Okay, well there's a land. It's nice. Yeah, I think probably Fabled Passage is out for non-tapped lands. It's just a little too slow. I don't have a full set of shocks, because I wasn't really playing at that time, so... Oh, this is very good for us. You're not going to like what we have next. Although that other mana is probably a shock. Yeah, that's fine.
Didn't see a door, so I let myself in. I'm gone for now, but not forever.
Alright, Kaya lives. Let's see, so we want Vivian? Oh, seems like I wouldn't complain about a Vivian. Let's see, let's get Swamp. We'll go with Reach since he's shown flying. Plus
I'd like you to meet my friend, Stumpy.
0. So Hasty could still get in some damage, but next turn we'll Questing Beast, I think. He's super... Oh, let's see, so we got Batra. I'm just gonna attack with the Beast, see what he plays. 2 mana could represent something. Oh, alright, well let's create another one with Reach. Let's keep plussing.
I call, and Decoria answers.
Got it, hitting submit 0.
Want something banished? Funny, that's what I do.
And we'll play Batra off the top on his turn. Good, he got a land. Prison Realm. Well, it's possible we find Barrier Breach. tell what he's targeting. We'll just resolve the one.
I hate this.
Oh. Oh well. Thought that they were in another order. Okay. Tagging for 9's pretty good.
You better watch your back from here on
He's
out.
gonna need something pretty solid to survive a shifting Ceratops next turn. Shatter this guy would be ideal, but okay. That was pretty quick. We can do one more. So yeah, anytime I can land a Kaya and exile one drop, I consider it pretty well invested. It diverts a lot of their resources and attention over to her. But she's pretty bad if there's not a one drop to kill. This is a pretty questionable hand. I guess I'm going to cycle Barrier Breach turn 2. I guess I'm going to Agonizing Remorse turn 2. Although I should have Fabled Passage, I think, and then just yeah, that was a mistake. No guarantee I get to 4. Oh, here's the Amori deck. You can watch it not work at all. My deck not work at all. Amori kind of just destroys me. Let's see what he's up to. All right, so he does have the blue. Does he have the blue? Not yet. Doesn't have the blue for Kinnan. Great Horn can get him there. Yeah, let's just keep him off his lands. He's trying to decide if he wants to just... I guess he could mutate the Cup Warden right now. Yeah, seems good. We got another land. Guess we'll cycle the Barrier Breach and hope we can recover. I doubt it though. This is gonna go too wide for with this Anguirius, the Gem Razor. He has this island, so he gets a swamp. So I'm pretty sure that indicates a Batra. Yeah, he goes Amori now, and then next turn land Batra. Alright, so creatures aren't going to do anything. Not good. Well, we can keep on going after Questing Beast, I guess. It's not going to help. I need... got black and green and white, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm gonna go Questing Beast this turn, next turn Leyline Prowler Skull Prophet. I probably could have attacked there. I think he very much wants this Umori to stay in play for this Dirge bet. Okay. That's good. He doesn't have that. Paradise Druid needs to be blue. Of course. I should have realized that. He's gonna swing, huh? I'll bite. Just cared about the damage. Fair enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cost 7. to do Kinnan. So I can Skull Prophet, Leyline Prowler, or Land of Vivian at the cost of 2 health. Would Vivian just die? Not really. Just make a... So I'd be able to trade there and block there and take 4, so she would. Yeah, that's not great. Let's put out a Prowler and a Prophet. And I'll trade with you, Amore, if you want, man. Oh, okay. Still dies to Dirge Bat. Now he can't just activate Kinnan, which is fine. Gets a Dirge Bat, so that's great. You're making negative progress if you do this. I'll take it. Still doesn't want to trade. Probably would be worth ditching the Umori at this point for it. But I need to start getting some value. Batra can't just kill my stuff if he mutates onto it, including Vivian.
I'd like you to meet my friend, Stompy.
No, it's not worth playing Paradise Druid. So yeah, mutate right now can just kill Vivian. I just kind of gotta live with that. But he doesn't go for it. There's another Batra. Alright. He's pretty reckless with his characters. Maybe he doesn't realize I have reach. Oh, this makes my job a lot easier. Ooh, or I could get a Shifting Ceradon. Yeah, that leaves me 3 left over to do Mythos.
Beauty lies in variation.
I'm gonna have to cycle this Barrier Breach next turn, unfortunately. But I think the Reach character was more important here. So he plays Paradise Druid and then activates Kinnan, I suppose. He's getting a lot of value off of Kinnan, but Vivian's also a ton of value. Well, this is a questing beast of his own. Does he go for it? Yes, he does. Well, actually, I should just trade my questing beast. No, eventually he's going to want to block my questing beast, and I'd like to have another one. I'm fine losing both of these guys. But I need to cast Mythos first. Please don't. Please don't go straight to combat. Yeah, this is definitely the one. I thought about doing Kinnan as well, but I like keeping Vivian around. Okay, I would like to start working up with Kaya. This can eventually help kill this guy.
Undead horrors. You're not welcome. You better watch your back from here on out.
See if he wants to trade yet. Only these two can trade with it because it can't be blocked by smaller creatures. Paradise Druid, or I'm gonna cycle Barrier Breach rather than cast Paradise Druid. Alright, you get something else. Maybe got some, not exactly what you want for 7 mana, but it was free. It's another questing beast. Once again, I'd rather have my questing beast, I think, so I'll block with the Shifting Ceratops. I'd like to block with the Leyline Prowler, but that's not how this works. Although I'm going to cycle first and see. That might change my mind. Oh, I knew what this was. Vivian. I mean, if I'm recasting Vivian, what do I care if he hits me for 4? I mean, my life total is kind of low. Might have been a mistake.
I hope you said you won. You better watch your back from here on out.
Alright, so he's got 5 in the exile. Let's see if he's willing to trade yet. I hope so, because I would really like to cast this questing beast. Because then I could -2 Vivian to shuffle away this land. Okay, deal. Oh, I can shuffle this away anyways, but this is better. I'll save the Fabled Passage for later.
Things are about to get out of hand.
Let's get... Knight's bigger. Yeah, let's get the Knight. Get the counters. If I find Sturge bad, then that'll be nice. We still don't want this land, so we're going to... yeah, shuffle. Let's get that land. Yeah, Batra. Alright. That was an okay turn. Now he has but one thing that can block this questing beast. And I actually can kill it, so he'd better find something good with Kinnan. He found nothing. Top 5's not all the cards. Alright. That might just be the end. We can Batra Knight of Autumn to kill Inquirius. Over. Oh, it's got hexproof. We can't do that. We can't do the thing. We can't kill Kinnan though, so it's pretty bad for him. Just turn all sideways. I've got 5 damage over here from Kaya with her -5. I would like to kill someone with Kaya, that'd be fun. Got 5 in the air, putting him down to 9. So if he lets 4 through, so if he doesn't block Questing Beast, then we win. If he blocks here and then lets these 2 through, no, that wouldn't make sense. He can block there for free and trade. Oh, she didn't attack. Alright, well, we're not going to kill him with Kaya exactly, but... Plus...
I'd like you to meet my friend, Stompy.
What did he block? Oh, did something have reach? Oh, let us exile stuff.
Well done. Look to see me no more.
Oh, he had lifelink. Okay. I was wondering, how did he gain life? Okay, that makes sense. Alright, we got there. So, yeah, I thought Agonizing might be good against Umori. Glad to see that it was, but I think... Yeah, I don't know if Kinnon's the right call. His deck just needed more Mutate. Like, one Mutate would have worked on the Dirge bet to just kill Vivian, and then I probably just would have been outvalued. So that match could have gone either way. He just didn't get a lot good with Kinnon. Alright, so sideboard cards. This deck obviously was built for best of one. A lot of these cards you'll put Barrier Breach and Kaya into the sideboard if you're playing best of 3 matches. Nice thing about Abzan is it has a lot of good sideboard cards. Specifically, I would recommend Devout Decree in your sideboard, or in the main deck if you are having a hard time with Luris or mono red decks. It's a pretty good shut-off tool. Doesn't kill Winota because it's slow, but it can be good against Winota. Better against Winota is Hushbringer. And I almost put this in the main deck because you can search it up with Vivian just as a one-of. But Hushbringer will prevent Enters the Battlefield triggers. It won't prevent Mutate, so it doesn't help us against the Umori deck. But it will stop Agent of Treachery as the main one. Just be careful with it, because if your opponent is playing one of the Titans, then they can just play their Titan for free and get the attack triggers next turn. It won't sacrifice, so you just pay 2 mana and get a big 6/6. So be careful. But as a flying 1/2, it's an okay card. This doesn't really have any synergy with the lifelink. I guess it's decent at blocking Scorch Spitters, but it probably just gets burned. Beyond Agent of Treachery, I'm not sure how many great Enters the Battlefield effects there are. Yeah. I'm trying to think of some, but I think most stuff is activated abilities at the moment. You've got like the adventure stuff, cycling, attack triggers from Winota. Yeah, I don't think Hushbringer is that great unless you're abusing it with Titans yourself, but it's an option to deal with Agents of Treachery, in case you can't stick this Shifting Ceratops. We didn't really see a lot of blue decks, control-y decks today, but they were prevalent when I was building this deck, so that's probably why it did a little better. So I don't know how necessary Hushbringer is, but it's a cute option. The problem with it is it just dies to like Bone Crusher 2 damage, so it's tricky. Cry is pretty decent against the decks, like all of the small Luris decks and mono red. Cry gets rid of those. Unfortunately, it kills our 6 mana dorks as well, so I'm not a big fan of it, but it kind of does what you need it to do sometimes if you're running into a lot of Reef decks or that's the other thing that Hushbringer is really good at, is killing Reef decks. All of their Risen Reefs don't do anything. Omnath doesn't do anything. Yeah. But yeah, Cry gets rid of a lot of opponents' ramp or Luris and stuff, so it's there if you need it. I haven't seen a lot of Luris decks recently. It seems like everyone's moved on to Umaro now, so who knows if they'll come back. It's just kind of a rotating cycle of companion decks. You can run Thrashing Brontodon if you prefer over Knight of Autumn. Brontodon's a little beefier than Knight is, and you can... The downside is you have to sack it to destroy the artifact or enchantment, but that means you can play it preemptively to have a good 3-drop. So if you want stronger 3-drops that you can play on turn 3, then you can play Thrashing Brontodon and then sack it later as appropriate. But Knight's a little more flexible. It gives you the creature and the destroy. It can also gain you life. It depends on what you need, but I've been testing both, and I liked both. I definitely like Thrashing Brontodon better than Gem Razor. Unless you're abusing Mutate, Gem Razor just isn't a general green aggro card like I wanted it to be. And then down at the bottom we've got Tristani. Tristani is also good against Agent of Treachery, and it's a good just curve topper. It pumps all of your Vivian tokens, pumps all of your mana dorks, and gives you some extra bodies. So it's a pretty good package for 5. And the nice thing about it is that you can play it off of Vivian. When she does her -2, you can play Tristani and get a 4-drop. Right now that's impossible because I don't have any 5-drops to search up a 4. So you can -2, play Tristani, and get a Questing Beast and swing for 5. So that's nice. There's some good play there. I'm tempted to put it in, but I don't know what I would take out. Probably would be taking out Shifting Ceratops. It fulfills a lot of the same goals in that it makes a lot of bodies and is good against Agent of Treachery decks, but it's not hasty, so it's kind of bad on against board wipes. That's why it's in the sideboard. And then Kog'Maw. We ran into a Kog'Maw today. I think this is pretty much the best on-play fight effect. Comes in, basically eats whatever you want, kind of like a Batra. But he can also destroy target enchantments or artifacts. I feel like at 6 mana that's probably a little too late. The enchantments have already done their damage. But I guess if you're trying to kill Shark Typhoons, he'll do it. We don't really have any humans to make him indestructible with besides Skull Prophet, which you could do, but I don't see that coming up more than a couple times. But he's just a little expensive. I didn't want a 6-drop in here. I liked Batra at 4 or 6. I'd rather play smaller stuff and just try and grind out value and haste rather than something big. But if you need more fight effects, this is probably your go-to. We did get to 6 mana quite a bit, and I should hope so with all of our mana dorks and 24 lands. And then Mystic Repeal. If you don't like Barrier Breach, you can try playing Mystic Repeal. It does a lot of the same effect, but it's cheaper, so you can do it a little bit more reactively. When they play their enchantment, you might have that 1 mana lying around to immediately kill it before they can generate value off of it, that sort of thing. Problem is it doesn't have cycle, so I like Barrier Breach better. Not just for the possibility of getting multiple enchantments off of Barrier Breach, but because it's you can just get rid of the Barrier Breach if you don't need it, and you can't do that with Mystic Repeal. You kind of just have to hope that they play something. But it is a little more mana efficient, so that's a pretty big concern for this deck. You saw we had a lot of comes into tapped lands, and we generally had to do stuff with our mana every turn. So Barrier Breach was a little bit of a hindrance there that Mystic Repeal might not be. But that's the deck. You can tweak it as you like. Abzan's got a lot of good value stuff to go in here to help counter decks. You can put in more removal if you need to. Banishing Lights, still a good card. You can put in more just kill spells. But it depends on what you're running into and what you need. It's got pretty much the flexibility for any of that. We'll be back next week. I'll have 2 drafts up again on Monday and Wednesday, and I have no idea what I'll build for Friday, so I guess I'll find out next time.